So, what is Men's Alliance? Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe this is your first time hearing of it. Maybe somebody just sent you this podcast, or maybe you've been checking out our website for a while. Whatever your situation is, let me tell you really short everything you need to know about Men's Alliance. First of all, what is Men's Alliance? Well, we're weekly tribes, podcasts, and life changing weekend experiences. Those are the three parts to Men's Alliance. And it's the weekly tribes that meet in person for 30-minute outdoor workouts, followed by 30-minute real world devotions around a fire. What do we mean by a real world devotion? Well, it's not a Bible study, it's not a book group. It's men being real, talking about whatever they're going through, sharpening each other by getting out of isolation and being real. That's why our motto is tribal, rugged, and real. We get men out of isolation, we get them out of their comfort zones, and we get them away from that facade of pretending that everything is okay. But that's what Men's Alliance is. And honestly, that's not the most important part of this podcast. I think the most important part of this podcast is not what is Men's Alliance, but why Men's Alliance. Why Men's Alliance? Why are we doing this? Why do you need it? Well, every invention in the world is intended to solve a problem, and Men's Alliance is no different. Just like a fuel additive that's used to solve the problem of an engine that's not running up to its potential, Men's Alliance is a fuel additive like that, that when added to a church or a neighborhood, it will result in men getting off the sideline, out of isolation, out of their comfort zones, away from their facades. And it's going to make them a better husband, father, and leader. That's our mission statement right there, sharpening men to be the husbands, fathers, and leaders God designed us to be. That's right. We are a Christian organization. We're not just some workout group, some meetup organization that high fives and goes home at the end of the workout. 50% workout, and that workout is going to push you to your limits. I've heard a lot of guys say, yeah, I thought I would come check out this Christian workout, and then probably I'd have to head to the gym afterwards. I love it. These guys are crawling back to their car afterwards. The workout is intense. But while we set the bar high with that workout, we also allow everybody to adjust it and modify it as needed. We can accommodate men of any age, disability, or fitness level. So it's come do what you can do. We're for ages 13 to 113. And if you played a Division I sport or even a pro sport and you come to a Men's Alliance, I guarantee you're going to get a great workout. It's designed to make it hard for guys who are fit and challenging for guys who are not so fit. But that's just the beginning, right? Because the important part is what happens around the fire. And that's where we have dialed into the recipe of building a band of brothers. If you think about the best friends you've ever had in your life, well, they were probably when you played a high school sport and you were doing two-a-days. Or if you were in the military, it's those guys that you suffered with, that you formed that bond with. That's part of what makes Men's Alliance unique. And that's why we're so important. Men in America today, adult men in America, are the leading demographic for suicide. That's right. And the cure for suicide is community. We've got to get out of isolation. We got to close our laptops, stop self-medicating with alcohol, pills, work, and porn. And it's time to become the authentic men that God designed us to be in community, iron sharpening iron. Every week, rain, shine, snow, cold, hot, it doesn't matter. We're outdoors doing rugged workouts and then getting real with our devotions around a fire. But what makes us utterly unique is our training system with 3 levels. So we've got our call sign level, our challenge coin level, and then the patch level. And you get this by going through an utterly unique leadership and discipleship program that we call Carry the Fire. We make it our goal for every man in Men's Alliance to earn his patch through a Carry the Fire class, where we teach the absolute best leadership training that the military has to offer, combined with the best apologetics training that Christian apologists have to offer. And when you put these things together, what you come up with is a man who is a leader. He's fearless. He's a barbarian. And when we say barbarian, we mean someone who does not conform to the prevailing culture. That's what Romans 12:2 calls us to be. That's what we mean by a barbarian. We also have a man who is an ambassador for Christ, just as Paul told us to be as well. So an ambassador needs to be able to explain what they believe and why, how Christianity is different from other religions and world views. So we don't just work out and have a Bible study. We are training men in leadership and practical apologetics that we call barbarian ambassadors. This is what makes Men's Alliance so unique. I see in churches all across the country a need, right? Like an engine that needs a fuel additive in it. I see men dropping their kids off for youth group, and churches are putting most of their budgets towards their youth programs. Show me a church that doesn't have a youth director, right? Show me a church that has a men's ministry director. You see, we're dropping off our kids at youth group, and then the parking lot is full of men sitting isolated in their vehicles, waiting to pick up their kids. And these men are on their phones. Maybe they're drinking. Maybe they're looking at pornography. Maybe they're texting someone that they shouldn't be. And then these men are at risk for suicide. So you've got the most at-risk group sitting alone in the parking lot while the church is putting most of their resources towards the youth, which is great. I've got kids. I love taking them to a church with a great youth group. Nothing wrong with that. But we want the churches to put as much focus on the men as they do the youth. Studies show that when the dad comes to Christ, there's a 93% chance of him bringing the whole family to Christ with him. So statistically speaking, it makes sense to target men. I don't know why more churches aren't, but we are. We're that fuel additive going after that. It also makes more sense from the most at-risk perspective. They're the most at risk. So if you look at us, middle-aged men like me, we're the most at risk for suicide, depression, addiction. And when we come to Christ, we have the highest odds of bringing our families with us. So that's why we're so important to target. That's the why for Men's Alliance. That's why we're targeting men. That's why we exist, and that's why we're fulfilling our mission. Again, it's not just a workout group and a Bible study. It is the 3 levels of training through the call sign, the coin, and the patch that makes us unique. We're actually have more in common with the Hells Angels than the Promise Keepers. The way we are laid out appeals to men in a way that churches have never done in America. The only groups that have ever done what we're doing are the military and motorcycle clubs. And those are groups that know how to reach men, and that's what we are doing as well. At Men's Alliance, we don't offer refreshments. We don't offer coffee. We joke that men don't bond over coffee cake. The only thing that we will promise you is suffering, because our workouts are going to make you suffer. Our leadership training is going to be a trial. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be a challenge. Those are the only things that we can promise you. Suffering, trials, challenges, discomfort. This is what Men's Alliance promises, man. But at the end, we can promise you growth and brotherhood as well. We would love to have you join our tribe in Men's Alliance. We have tribes all over the nation, and we're launching new ones every week. It's incredible how God is spreading the Men's Alliance fire. If you want to get involved, simply go to our website, men'salliancetribe.com. You can join a tribe if there's one near you. You can start a tribe if you feel called to do that. If neither of those fit you, you can come to one of our Start the Fire weekends, where we will immerse you in Men's Alliance 101 in a 2-day rugged outdoor experience where you will not only lead a workout and a devotion, but you'll partake in unique leadership challenges as well. You will leave as a better man, absolutely guaranteed. One of my favorite things is hearing the testimonials, the reviews, if you will, from our men when they finish. And after the last Carry the Fire class that we just did, I'm just going to share 2 of them with you. We had one man tell us that he has earned many patches in his life, but the Men's Alliance patch is the most memorable. This man was in Delta Force. We have another man from the corporate world who said he has been to leadership training events that his company sent him to that cost upwards of 20 grand. And he learned more and got more out of our Carry the Fire course than he did at that. We get these kind of reviews all the time. This is what we're doing at Men's Alliance. So find a tribe or start one or come to Start the Fire. But tune in to our podcast and subscribe to that either way. And then check out one of our life-changing weekend experiences. We want you to go through our Carry the Fire course and earn your Men's Alliance patch. Why do we want you to do that? Because we want to sharpen you to be the husband, father, and leader that God designed you to be. That's what Men's Alliance is, and that's why we're here.